So hello everybody, very warm welcome. For those who already joined us this afternoon, this is 4 p.m. CET. Wherever you guys are, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We're quite multinational, also a panel today. We have more people joining, so I think we're gonna have 1 minute or two for the rest of you guys to join us, and then we won't lose too much time and start right away. GDPR, guys, you know this is really important, so let me point out that this is going to be a recording. Recording is already ongoing. Obviously, if you unmute yourself, you'll be part of the recording if you ask questions. However, you can also use the chat, or you can even ask a question within our tool. Go to webinar. Most of you will probably be quite familiar with it. I'll keep an eye on this. Let me take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Jacob. I recently joined ownCloud as a head of marketing, and I'm very excited to be your host today, as this is our very first ownCloud Tech Talk. And when I tell you Tech Talk, this means practically two things. One first thing, and most important, this is techie for techie. So this is not marketing, and that means marketing guy, be quiet. However, I can't resist. I do have for you guys one quick question, and I'd love you to answer this. Do you already work with ownCloud? It would be really cool if you could participate so that we get an idea. If you're already familiar with it, this plays a role, there's going to be a demo afterwards. This is quite cool if you already know ownCloud and you know what you're talking about. Okay, so let's see. Oops, that was closed. So we had 85% yes. So that's pretty cool. 85% of you guys already use ownCloud. This is really cool. Ash, you unfortunately lost your full screen mode due to this. Technology, we all love it. And with this, once again, this is going to, because we have more people coming in. Recording already started. So this is going to be recorded. You will receive the recording afterwards. Welcome everybody to our first ownCloud Tech Talk with our friends from Collabora. Our friends, two of them are here today. Collabora, obviously, guys, is a very long-term partner with ownCloud. We're really good friends, deeply integrated with our solution, and vice versa. And I'm going to hand over to Eloy, who's going to give you a few ideas about Collabora, what they do, and why it's a pretty good idea to work with them. And we have Ash with us today, who's going to guide us through a quick demo. I think this is what most of you guys are here for. Chris from ownCloud has a few some demo environment set up, and then all the best, guys. Eloy, I'm handing over to you. Marketing guy is quiet now.
Thank you, Jacob. Well, hello everyone. So welcome to the webinar of True Secure View with Collabora Online in ownCloud, of course. My name is Eloy Crespo, Business Development at Collabora, and I will be presenting this webinar together with my colleague, Ash Nakasian. In this webinar, first, I'm going to give you a quick overview of Collabora Online in ownCloud, of course, followed by more details on how True Secure View works, and a real-time demo, of course, which is probably the most interesting thing. So first, let me give you a quick reminder of Collabora Online. Collabora Online is a powerful online office suite with collaborative editing, of course, that supports all major documents, spreadsheets, presentations, file formats. You can also open PDFs, review PDFs, insert comments on PDFs, thanks to our friends from ownCloud. So that's nice. And Of course, in the next slide, when you click on a text document, you will see it opens just like this, with the menu bar on the top, status bar on the bottom, and the editable document in the middle, of course, with a beautiful sidebar on the right side. We have everything that is possible to do on the text document in this sidebar. You have also this beautiful notebook bar with all the styles, headings, titles, etc. Powerful features like track changes, insert comments, reply to comments, etc. So everything is possible on this text document. In the next slide, spreadsheets open like this, just like how you would expect, of course, with a formula bar, sheets in the bottom. You can insert charts. We have many kind of powerful features like conditional formatting, pivot tables, auto filter. So as you can see, everything is possible. And again, you can collaborate with your colleagues on a spreadsheet, modify everything on real time thanks to ownCloud also. So everything is possible and you will not lose any kind of functionality. In the next slide, you will see a presentation. So presentations looks like this. It's pretty obvious with the slides on the left and the selected slide open in the right side. Ready to be edited. On the sidebar, you can also see all this slide menu with format, orientation, background, master slide. You have also layouts for your slides, powerful features again, like shapes, connectors, images, presentation mode inside here, transitions. So again, everything is possible. And in the next slide, something that is new, we have recently added draw functionality to our Office suite. That allows you to do great things like shadow effects, glow and soft edge effects on shapes, and much more. Everything is possible. And this is more or less the screenshot, so an overview of Collabora. Now let's go for the main benefits of using Collabora, or why you should choose Collabora over any other Office suite solutions in the market. So I tried to sum up a large list of benefits, of course, in these most important points, divided into different pillars. First of all, Collabora Online combines, as I presented to you on the previous slides, leading, shameless, and efficient online sharing and collaboration. Of course, you can collaborate with others, as I said before, on your text documents, spreadsheet presentations, PDFs, etc., with increasing productivity because you don't need to attach attachments on an email. You can collaborate on meetings in any kind of different file formats, so that's great. Security and data protection is one of the most important points for us, also for our friends from ownCloud. That's the reason why I put digital sovereignty and security here as one of the most important points. Then we will talk about secure view, which is important also in this point. Excellent interoperability. As I said before, you can continue working with your legacy file formats and existing file formats from Microsoft, like docx, XLX, XLXX, PPTX. Well, everything is possible. And of course, offering excellent interoperability for you to continue working. And also Collabora Online delivers a comprehensive path for migration of support, of course, cost-effective and a flexible pricing. If you need more info, you can also poke our friends from ownCloud to receive an offer. A wide range of platforms and integration, of course. We are pretty flexible here. And finally, and probably also a very important point, excellent support and a real product relationship with our partners and customers, with a smaller company that really cares about your business, your technology, and your deployment. And this is all from my side. I will continue with Ash.
Thank you, Eloy.
Let me just
hi, everyone.
jump in there, guys. At that point, marketing, I really can't resist, guys. But I have a second poll for you guys. So, do you already work with Collabora? So that Ash gets an idea. How many of you guys work with Collabora? Oh, Ash, this is you. You have to give your very best, right? It all depends on you. We have 13% yes right now, and we have 12 yes and 88% no. We have something to do with you guys.
All right.
Excellent. I'm gonna close it. And we're back in the presenter mode.
Hopefully we're going to change that today.
Ash is going to guide us through the demo that Chris has set up. Chris, I'm going to give you presenter rights.
Okay. So welcome everybody. First of all, my name is Ash, and thank you for taking your time out to be with us. Jacob, can I still present the slides that I have?
You can.
Yes, let's do the demo when I'm done with a few slides that I've prepared for everybody, just to go over the features and the benefits that we are offering. So that, all right. Okay, you should be able to see my full screen. Is that correct? Yes.
Works well.
All right. Well, thank you. So, on a very high level, us businesses, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can share our documents that include our marketing material, our new developments. Indeed, we would love to have all of our employees and partners collaborate on the latest material that we're producing, whether they're documents, presentations, spreadsheets, and so on. All of that is definitely needed in the digital age, but at the same time, we really don't want to give up control. We don't want to have our most precious set of information and secrets out in the open. We want to have control over it, but at the same time, we want to be able to share everything. So this seems like a dilemma, but I will assure you within a few minutes, you will come to a conclusion that with SecureView, ownCloud and Collabora have created an environment where this is not a dilemma. But first of all, let's see how most solutions out there are solving this problem. Basically, they come up with a front end that loads in a browser, which is very modern and neat. But what they do is basically they transmit all of your document contents. Indeed, in some cases, the document just converted to HTML to the browser where it is displayed. The only problem with this, when this is a major problem, is that there is absolutely no security. Whoever is viewing the document can save it and can indeed just modify it and have full access to all the material in it, including text and images and so on. Often they will have a layer of watermark on top of it, which is extremely insecure, which actually reminds me of a scandal that happened a few years ago that some of you might remember. There were government declassified documents that were released as PDF, and some astute journalists noticed that all of the sensitive personally identifying information were covered with a layer of black marker that anybody with a PDF editor could remove and read the parts that weren't supposed to be declassified. This is exactly the same. Basically, anybody who knows how to press F12 and delete a few HTML nodes will be able to remove the watermarks, and they have full access to the text and the images and everything. Basically, it's not worth even considering this because it's not secure. So let's look at something more serious. Microsoft came up with end-to-end encryption, which granted from a security perspective, it is very good. But there is obviously a trade-off, and the trade-off for businesses is that, first of all, you have to hand them all of your documents, right? You're uploading your documents. It is all in their cloud, in their infrastructure. You do not have full control over your documents. Obviously, if anything goes wrong, this is a single point of failure, meaning if there is any compromise with their security features, or indeed if they have an outage like Facebook just had a few weeks ago, and their infrastructure is not accessible, you lose access to your documents, right? Any security breaches will compromise your at a minimum, your confidence in their security. So basically, this is a solution that brings you some advantages, but at the same time, it robs you of having control of your documents and the security of controlling everything about the contents that you're producing. So let's look at the alternative, because there is an alternative that will give you both abilities to share your documents and at the same time have full control over them. That's ownCloud Secure View. That is a unique proposition in the market, thanks to the collaboration and the partnership that we have between Collabora and ownCloud. You will see how we do this. You will be able to share everything. Your most precious information and documents will be available on the web, but through your infrastructure without compromising. You will be able to have people comment on your documents. You will be able to give them write permission if you like to edit the documents. You will be able to have watermarks and cover your sensitive information by making it clear that there is an ownership here. And you will see how this is done uniquely. This is actually a screenshot where you can see that the watermark is on the document, and you will see that this is not done in the browser in a second. The way we do this is by making sure that the only thing that is displayed, that is indeed transmitted from your servers to the browser, are the pixels that are rendered on the screen. No text is transmitted, no part of your document is transmitted. The document metadata is secure and safe. Basically, only the parts that are visible on the screen are the ones that are rendered and transmitted. The document never leaves your site, and this is key. No part of the document leaves the site. We only render the parts that are visible to the viewers at the zoom level that they wish. Obviously, all of this is cached, and there is complex algorithms to balance the load and the needs. And I'm more than happy to talk to you about all of this. I'm actually from the dev side of the Collabora online product. So I'm more than happy to go into details if you'd like during the Q&A. But your document stays with you on your premises behind your security measures. So roughly, this is the architecture that ownCloud Secure View with the Collabora online server behind it has. On the left, you have all the clients which are considered untrusted, because even though you give view access to different people, you cannot be confident that they will not be copying or storing or exporting your data. What we give them, only pixels. The pixels include the watermark, by the way. So it is not rendered after the fact. It is rendered on the server, which means that the viewers get an extremely fast loading time, and they see everything interactively, because the amount of processing that is done on the browser is really minimal. Indeed, it's pretty much just rendering the tiles that are the images that are rendered on the server, and only the view that they are interested in. Meaning, if the document is a few hundred pages long, they will only get the couple of pages that they are looking at the moment. Everything is over HTTPS. Obviously, it's SSL. They hit your firewalls, and you can definitely have a VPN and a reverse proxy in many cases as your entry point. And behind that, you would have a load balanced federated instances of Collabora Online. You can deploy as many as you want, and we do the load balancing basically to make sure that the documents are loaded evenly on all of your servers. The servers themselves are extremely secure. I can't stress how much effort went into making sure that the documents are isolated in jails. So we do change root, and every document gets a minimal view of the file system, which is completely isolated. So even in the extremely rare case that somebody is able to get out of the document and try to access the file system, they will have a view that is barren of anything in the server itself. It would just be the document and the Collabora application, basically binary and configurations, which is destroyed once the document is unloaded. They will also be isolated from executing any Linux system calls, And all of this is done in a very sparse file system, meaning that we can actually load documents very fast, and the footprint on the file system or in memory is minimal. You actually will be surprised when you look at the admin console that we have, how small the footprint of all of this is and how quickly things load. You will notice during the demo, I am sure, and please feel free to ask any questions about the technology and the details. I will be more than happy to talk to you about them. So finally, this is basically the controls that you will get, and in a few seconds, Chris is going to help us run through a demo where you will see how easily you can actually, by enabling the settings that you see on the right of the slide, you will be able to enable secure view with watermarking, and you can control whether you want to allow printing and exporting and what the watermark is going to look like. All of these settings are both done as a default and granularly per document upon sharing, and I will show you how that is done. You have absolutely full control over all of this. So with that, thank you for listening, and let's now take do the demo, and then I will take questions afterwards. Thank you.
You may, by the way, have noticed that there is the option to ask questions. You can use the chat, but there is also a question tool. Some of you already sent me some. I'll keep an eye on that. And if they go a bit into detail, Ash, there's going to be a Q&A section. As Ash just said, he'll be more than happy to reply to all of your questions afterwards. So keep those questions coming, guys. Thanks for that. And Chris, Ash, over to you.
Hello,
all right,
thank you.
So, please, Chris, go on.
Yeah, let me log in as a admin user to the ownCloud instance. And first of all, I want to show you how normal sharing look like. So when I type in a name here, so as the user receiver, you can see we have different sharing permissions, like he can share, he can edit, or he can change. When I now go to the settings and to the additional settings, I can turn on secure view here. Let me quickly show you the full settings. So when enabling secure view, I can show you how the permissions change. Let me go back here and share and type in receiver again. And as you can see now, I have the possibility to share with secure view, and I can tick or untick, can print and can export. I can change that behavior. So I can change the default share permissions. So when I change this here and reload this page, you can see that when I share again with receiver, sharing with secure view is enabled by default. Okay, now how this looks like on the receiver side. So let me share this Ansible document with secure view and can print and can export, and the Docker compose Ansible pptx file I will share without secure view, and then we can see the difference. So, okay, let me now log in as receiver. And we have two documents now. The Docker compose file is shared without secure view. Let me quickly open that. And as you can see, I can change text here. I can save the file. I can print. And yeah, I can do everything what you suspect. And when I now open the Ansible file which is shared with secure view, you can see the difference. I'm allowed to print, but I'm not allowed to save the file, and everything is secured with watermarks. And you can see.
Notice that the watermarks are rendered based on the zoom level. So the watermark is not, you know, it's not overwhelming when it is zoomed out, and when you zoom in, you don't get patches that, you know, large patches that don't have the watermark on them. And all of this is done on the server, and you can see how fast this is, right? The only thing that the browser is showing are just images, and you can play with this with the, you know, you can inspect basically what is being rendered with F12. And indeed, you will see that you're only getting images, and all of this is done extremely quickly, as you've seen how smoothly Chris was zooming in and out with the rendering of the text, the images, and the watermarking on top of it.
Absolutely.
It definitely doesn't feel like you're in the browser. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm still allowed to printing these, but again, also the print is secured with watermarks. When I untick that box, let me untick, I think it was that one. When I untick can print and export and reload the page, what's the Ansible document? Yeah. And now show the document again. I'm not allowed to print anymore. So this is how Secure View looks like in real life.
Basically, this is the bare minimum that anybody that you want to see the document will have access to. It's the pixels on the screen with the watermarks, and the watermarks, obviously, you can have pretty much anything in them. You can also have variables like dates, the owner's email address, you know, things like that. So it would basically contain any kind of you know, legally or otherwise necessary information that would mark the owner and the ownership of the document itself. Beyond that, basically, nothing more is transmitted to the viewers. Indeed, Chris, if you may go back to the sharing screen, as an owner of a document, you can have a sunset date on the sharing. So when you're sharing, you can specify when the sharing will expire. So automatically, the receiver in this case, or the people who had access to the document via, you know, you're sharing it with them, they will automatically lose that access to the document altogether when the expiration date arrives. So basically, you have full control over the lifetime of the share and if the receiver is able to do anything with the document beyond just seeing it on the screen.
Excellent, guys. So far, I really love this. I really love to see it all the time. And this is a funny thing is that we actually use this at ownCloud. This is how we work. This is you know, we have Collabora available for us internally at ownCloud as well. And even in marketing, I mean, we have confidential presentations. We have, you know, that I share even externally. Obviously, I have to, you know, service providers and all that. And I mean, marketing is always a grade 3 maybe in the sense of information, but think about GDPR relevant information, think about intellectual property. You really don't want to go there somewhere where it shouldn't be. And you certainly don't want to see that in any public cloud, where it could be a matter of national interest to gain access to these informations for some certain players on the market. So this is really impressive. This is really cool, and it is mostly important. Obviously, you may have got the point that I have 2 more poll questions for you guys. And one is, do end users work and share documents with sensitive information within your organization? What do you guys think? Does that happen? So the funny thing is that we have 100% yes. Obviously. Okay, there's some who don't know. But frankly, we haven't seen any organization yet that we're working with that came to us and asked for demos and stuff where end users did not share documents containing sensitive information. This is a fact. It happens. It happens all the time. I think what we need to make sure is that it happens securely and that you're still master of the universe. And I do have a second question for you. And this is really important. Do you have a data compliance policy in your organization? We see the first ones do not have a data compliance policy. Is what we see and what we've seen over the last years is that data compliance becomes increasingly important. This is data governance and data compliance. Okay, we have more participating. Thank you so much for being part of this. It's really cool. We appreciate your input. Thank you, guys. So we have 44% yes, 25 no, and 31 don't know. The thing is, if you don't know if you have one, how should your end users know that there is one? Data governance, this is really important. This is one of the major features that we can offer together with Collabora, actually, to ensure data compliance and secure data management within your organization. Do we have any questions from our panel, from our participants? You can unmute yourself. You can also use the chat if you want to see anything again, get a little bit more into details. Feel free to raise hands, guys. So far, we don't see any questions coming in. What we can do, however, and let me point this out once again, we can have a personal demo, obviously. I mean, this was quite fast. We have 30 minutes, and we can always arrange some kind of more detailed demo together with Collabora, with ownCloud, obviously, and get things set up into detail. So we have one question: how much does SecureView cost? Well, this obviously, I mean, it depends on your on the license that you're using with ownCloud, and on your users. So if you have any questions regarding pricing, then consider you have an email sent out to sales@owncloud.com. Our friends from the sales department will be more than happy to reply and get you a quote. Do we have any? So is Collabora available on the community edition? True SecureView is not available on the community edition as far as I know, unfortunately. As this is kind of an enterprise class feature. It's not part of the community edition now. Do we have any other questions from the panel? Feel free. Ash, Chris, are the brains to talk to. Eli, I'm sorry. I mean, you're sales, I'm marketing. You know, we're not gonna, you're not gonna answer any techie questions, right? Are we? Time's expensive for these two guys usually, so take a chance. Take a chance on them. If you have no further questions, then let me thank you all very much, and thanks Eloy, Ash, Chris for your demo. We have one more question coming in. I'm sorry, wait, how to setting access control for the user. Can we? I don't know what exactly is the question. This is what I have in the chat, guys. Does anybody want to reply? How to setting access control for user? Or maybe we should do a follow-up on that. I'm not really sure. Ash, does that tell you something? Does it have?
the access controls for the users? How do they work, or what's the
Maybe you can unmute and specify the question if.
So the owner of the document is the one able to decide the access when they're sharing the document itself. But the admin as well has control over the default settings, right? So if you own a document, you can share it with somebody else, and at the point of sharing, you decide what permissions and what rights they have. And of course, you can revoke that basically, or change it. Does that answer the question, or maybe the question had a slightly different angle? I'm sorry if I didn't catch the intent.
Any replies? If not, you can also use the chat if you wish to. In the meantime, guys, this is our very first ownCloud Tech Talk, but it's not going to be the last ownCloud Tech Talk. We have another one actually coming in March, and I'd like to invite you guys to have a look at our brand new events webpage, ownCloud.com/events. Find all our upcoming events there. John, a lot about presentation. I like it in front of you. Hey, great compliment. Thank you. Goes back to Ash, Chris. Thank you all, guys. It says here, cool. It was a great pleasure. We could help you. This is the idea behind the Tech Talks. We actually want to show you stuff that you can then use. You know, this is all about information and for our community, obviously. So I'm glad we can make a point here. Cool. So I don't have any more questions popping up. Well, it was a great pleasure. Thank you, Ash, once again. Eloy, Chris, for your support today. Thanks for being with us and having started this Tech Talks here with us. It's not going to be the last Tech Talk I think we're going to do together with you guys from Collabora. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. The recording will be made available via email. Everybody, if you guys will receive an email once the recording is there. You can just download and have a look at it if you wish to. And obviously, feel free to share it within your organization. This is not marked confidential. You can share it, guys. Okay, so thank you for now.
Jacob, do you have the ability if people want to have a demo or they want to be able to play with a demo account? Is that possible?
We can provide that if you wish to. You can just reach out sales@owncloud.com or community@owncloud.com. You can reach out and we will we'll make it possible. Even with one of our pre-sales consultants, if you wish to have a demo that goes a bit even more into detail and covers maybe a bit more features and parts of ownCloud, yeah, definitely we can do that as well.
It's worth also mentioning that we have generally very flexible pricing and licensing. So I will reiterate what Jacob just said, that reach out to sales, find out what your needs are, and you'll definitely get a reasonable quote.
Absolutely. Well then, no more questions. Thank you. Thanks to all of you guys who showed up today, and to our participants, our panel. Thank you once again, and hopefully see you in 2 weeks for our next ownCloud Tech Talk, March 22nd. Keep this posted and don't forget to register. Thank you all. I'm gonna close it and
Bye.
stop the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.